spiritual realm.
Yes.
Right?
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
So let's just say that I make my own simulation.
GOAD podcast. Well, hit us with it.
Well, did
GOAD
you press
pod.
Record?
Yeah, GOAD podcast. We're on. We're live.
Well,
Oh, we're not live yet?
No.
All right.
All right, keep going.
All right, we're going to keep
Just
going. We're going to keep going. We are here live feeding onto our Facebook page. So welcome everybody who's going to be joining us as soon as it goes live. We are here with our guest host, Daniel. Daniel's sitting in for our boy, Jared, who is currently MIA. MIA. It's a problem. It's a problem, Jared. Just saying, wherever you are, we love you. What's up, Daniel?
Another Tuesday, brother.
Another Tuesday, melting fire, working for the man. Getting deep in the flames.
What's up?
Now we got DJ.
What's going down?
All right, now break off with that, whatever you said.
All I said is non-existent schemes and wiles of the enemy.
And then there's another line to that rap.
There's a bunch of other lines. I'm trying to see if this thing is actually...
Non-existent schemes and wiles of the enemy. Ooh, I'm going to channel DMX.
I don't think
right?
we can't hear it.
I'm going to channel him right now. You probably can't play it because it's copyright.
Well, I'm saying there's no sound on the video. I think I'm just going to unplug.
No audio.
I'm going to unplug that one
That's a
piece
good,
right there.
that's a good bit.
Minor technical difficulties.
Very minor. Very, very minor. If you're joining us on Facebook, you're out. Later. Is this still going live or on Facebook? Did I just peace out everybody and unintentionally? No.
Nope,
No?
They can't hear us, right? We can talk all the trash to people on Facebook right now because they can't hear us.
They can't. I don't know.
No, they can't. So, man, that one dude on
is so
Facebook,
weird.
right? That one dude on Facebook that was talking trash about you. And well, let's talk trash about him back, huh? You can't hear us, so we're just...
There we go.
Uh-oh. Sold out.
But that's the...
Sold out.
Cinema standard.
Man, that's a delay, huh? That's like a half an hour delay. That way, if we cuss or something, we can beep it out. We have plenty of time. We'll beep it out after we cut the podcast because we'll have time. That delay is like a minute. Is there somewhere that says okay? Yeah. Just push it. Well, on the screen? Yeah. This is atypical of the GOAT podcast. We're a little bit out of
we're out of date. We're trying new things.
We're trying new things for you people. We're trying to
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're trying. That's like Carly and I were watching this one movie. This homeless guy had a sign.
There it goes.
And there it is.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, everybody. Whoever's watching live. It's very embarrassing that happened. I was trying to maneuver some audio straight from, from the mic straight into the camera, but I guess it just didn't really happen as well as I thought that it would.
Technology, brother.
It might shock you people to know that we're not tech people.
Well, I'm trying to be, but I guess I'm not.
He's trying. He's trying. Trying harder than I'm.
Trying harder than I am.
Yes. I know what lane I'm in, man. I know my lane, and it's not the tech lane. You know? I'm not trying to be in that lane.
All right. So are you starting a watch party on your...
I haven't.
Well, you should.
I don't know how. I'm telling you. I just got done telling you I'm not a tech guy. You're asking me if I started a watch party.
So
I turned 47 in August. So there's your watch party.
Doing pretty good.
All right.
So far.
So, welcome everybody once again. We are here. We got special guest, my boy Daniel here. You guys met him last week, talking about issues of the day, how we feel about certain things that are going on in the world. Jake was on an important mission to go feed one of his brothers the word and some inspiration and encouragement.
Yeah, good dude, man.
Yeah.
Good dude. I like that guy a lot. And so, shout out. You know who you are. Shout out.
If you're watching, you know who you are.
If you're watching, you know who you are.
All
You
right.
know? It was a good time, man. But it's like, when we talk about things that, if you're in leadership of any kind, whether it's a church or it's a business or it's a whatever, you gotta show people that you care more about them than you do the bottom line, about the whatever. It's just like, hey, I can give you this shot. Like it's your shot to lose, right? And I'm there for you. I'm all on your team. I want you to take the shot because I know it's like the Jeremiah passage where God says, "I know the plans I have for you." Plans
says the
Lord, of a future and a hope. And so when I look at some of my employees and I go, I know where I want you to go. I know that you want to go there. I know what the future holds if you stay on this freaking path.
Yeah.
I know what's there. I know. Take it. You got to take it though. Because if you don't take it, I got nothing. I got to protect the company.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So we have you're in that mix of, I love the people, right? And I'm going to be team people. Wherever you want to go, I'm going to help you get there. But if you put my company at risk,
yeah,
that's where I'm divided. And so I think we came to a good understanding that I have to be divided that way. I have 6 other people that rely on me to feed their families, to have jobs, to take care of their, to pay their bills.
Yeah.
I can't risk that for one guy. Although I think I would,
Right.
I think I would. And so we had a good talk. It was good.
Cool. Yeah. You were talking for a few hours, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
two and a half hours.
Sometimes there in Facebook world, sometimes ministry isn't always just, preaching to someone. It's just sitting down and having a conversation with somebody and just sharing life into them. Just sharing life into the heart of that person.
Yeah, well, that's what ministry is.
Yeah,
ministry is about people.
Yeah,
and
relationships.
It's not the group of people. It's not the gang of people. I get credit for being up in front of 100 people or 1,000 people, and I get to preach and do all this stuff. Yay! What do you do individually to minister to the single soul? That's where the ministry's at.
It's a beautiful ministry, too. I love it when it's one-on-one ministry.
Yep. Well, and that's the pastor's role, too, right? To equip the saints for the work of the ministry. And the ministry is the people.
Amen. The church. The body.
Yep.
We all are there for each other. And just like that person is also there for me.
Yep.
Amen to that.
So
you say.
So you say.
Yeah, you see, I see.
So, have you ever been called a Nimrod before?
You're a Nimrod.
Have you ever been called one?
I've never been called a Nimrod. I may have been called a Nimrod.
Have you called anybody a Nimrod before?
When I was 85 years old, I may have called somebody a Nimrod. I think if I had ever been called a Nimrod, it was by somebody that was about 100 years old.
Man.
You're a Nimrod. You're a freaking Nimrod. That's...
So we got this dude. His name is Nimrod.
Baller.
And it's probably where you get the phrase, you're a Nimrod from. Right?
Pretty sure
dude, yeah.
For obvious reasons. So you have this dude who's creating things in a society that causes people's hearts to move away from the Lord.
So somebody calls you a Nimrod, and don't you just say, like, thank you very much? If by Nimrod you mean baller, somebody who has people following him, who's willing to do what he asks when he wants to build a ginormous nation, if that's what you're calling me, thank you very much.
I'm sure most of the time it's not that way.
That's pretty derogatory.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Usually it's not in that type of term.
Right. No, it's pejorative. You're a freaking Nimrod. You're like, I don't know. Do you know anything about Nimrod? Because he was a stud.
I guess a lot of people don't even know that the name Nimrod is actually from the Bible. They just hear it. They just hear it. Oh, that guy's a Nimrod. And so then it just becomes a saying, like a byword. Hey, what's up, Nimrod?
Well, of all the biblical names you could have been called, like Jacob, Joshua, Daniel, right? 2 out of 3 very good biblical names. Nimrod? Not so, nobody's named their kid Nimrod. And very few people are naming their kids Cain.
Right.
There's
Abel. There's a few Abels.
There's a few Abels.
I've heard Matthias.
Oh, really?
So people want to pronounce it Matthias or Matthias, but he said Matthias.
Matthias is
Matthias.
good.
Matthias. Yeah.
Matthias seems like a guy that you would walk into his room and he would just dump wisdom on you.
Yeah.
Where are you going? I'm going to see Matthias.
I'm going to go see the guru Matthias.
Yeah. That's that name. Matthias.
So I've heard that one before, but Nimrod. So tell me something about Nimrod.
Nimrod's a hashtag baller, hashtag builder. He is the first man of renown in the Bible. Talks about Nimrod being the guy who he is the son of Ham, Cush, Nimrod. So Nimrod comes along and he is the first man of valor. So he is the first guy that seems to have a following of people who hold him in high regard.
So he's probably a man of war.
He's a hunter. He's a hunter as unto the Lord, is what the Bible says. So he hunts animals. He's a leader. The dude's a freaking stud. He's a stud. By all intents and purposes, Nimrod's a stud.
Yeah.
And all the people. Yeah, and all the people at that time. He's a founder of, obviously, Babylon. Founder of Nineveh. Cush. A bunch of other places, but Babylon is what he gets the most credit for because that's where everybody was gathered as a big community who had the same language, spoke the same words. It was like a big, ginormous community, and he was the leader of it.
Right. So do you think all of the world religions derive from that time? Because he was building, a tower to get closer to heaven or to get closer to God. Whatever his mind was thinking, he built this tower so he could get closer, or maybe he even wanted to proclaim himself as a god.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that that's what that particular part of Genesis says.
Right.
As much as it just says that they wanted to build it to make a name for themselves so that they wouldn't be scattered.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So what do you think? What do you think was in Nimrod's mind?
I don't know.
Daniel?
It's been a long time since I lived in those ages. So
it's hard to tell what's in Daniel's mind. He's sitting right in front of us.
Right.
Not to mention some dude that's like 10,000 years old. He's been dead a minute, Nimrod. But
you look at the existential progress of power and following, and it usually leads to corruption in your own heart and your own mind. So, yeah, maybe there was a little bit of wanting to proclaim to be something bigger than what the rest of societies had seen in their day. Well, yeah, like he said, what the Bible really just mentions is him wanting to make a name for themselves so that they wouldn't be scattered throughout the lands, whatever that name was that they were looking to be made for them. really couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's crazy because what about that? Do you think all of the world religions actually came from that? Because we know that the Hebrews, they had some sort of sacrifice, right? They sacrificed, they made altars to the Lord, and they sacrificed, and we know all these people came into one place, and then what happens after that? The Lord does what?
Well, he scatters them for sure, because they wanted to make a name for themselves and wanted to keep it so they couldn't be scattered. And that's exactly what God does. He was just like, you know what? Let's go down, change up their language. That's where all the different, at least the foundation of all the languages came from,
right.
Even though languages evolve like everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Scatter them out, and they ended up being in natural. Once he scattered them, they ended up being in natural groups of, those are the English speakers, and those are the Mandarin speakers, and those are the whatever the languages were at the time. Because there's a ton of languages that are extinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of languages that aren't spoken of anymore.
Right.
So who knows what those languages were, but they all congregated in the, well, I understand you. All right, so you and I hang out. And then I don't understand them, so we're not going to hang out with them. And we're going to go this way. What's fascinating about Babel is that they build this, what seems to be an obelisk or some kind of tower, maybe some form of pyramid-shaped obelisk. So to answer your question, all over the world there are those types of obelisks. Whether you're going Mayan temples, or you're going Egypt, or you're going Rome, wherever you go in the world, there's these obelisks or these pyramids.
Right.
So I guess in that sense of the word, maybe all things, those maybe came from their experience at Babel. What does it tell you? It tells you that even though I want my will right here in this town, and we're all going to get together and we're going to do whatever's on our heart to do, even when we're scattered, I'm going to take a little bit of that. No matter where we end up, we're going to build a monument to ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to be the ruler of our own destiny, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, God scattered them, which is kind of a weird thing. Like, because God says, look, oh man, these people set their mind to anything. And so just so they don't get too carried away, let's loose paraphrase. Let's scatter them out, send them on their way. But then fast forward to 2020, dude, there's countries making clones of things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? We're getting ready to embed like machinery into our bodies, healing ourselves with technology, nanobots, and all the stuff we've talked about on this podcast. And so, like, if God thought the obelisk or this tower that they were building with the motivation that they were building it was bad, I mean, dude, what we're doing now, that's Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
You know?
Everything that's happening these days, I mean, just imagine. They were building a tower. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were smart people.
For
These
sure,
people
for
were
the time.
smart. Yeah, for the time. There were scientists. There were astrologers. These people, I believe that in that same region where the Tower of Babel was is where the Chaldees are, right?
Yeah,
the Chaldees.
Same general area.
Yeah, the same general area. So the Chaldeans were what? They were astronomers. They studied the stars, and they studied, have you ever heard of the Mazzaroth?
Oh, sure.
It's the Hebrew zodiac. And so they say, that the gospel is even shown through that. How if you read those stars, and that's how the Chaldeans portrayed, the gospel in that type of thing. But, I mean, these people were smart. And then just looking back from there to now, it's like, man, we surpassed a lot of what has happened there. I mean, you can split cells. You can split atoms.
Dude, I mean, right?
Splitting atoms, and what happens when you split an atom?
Dude, yeah.
Dude,
destruction.
Boom.
Absolute destruction.
Dude, I mean, that's what a nuclear bomb is, right?
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of split atoms contained in one little shell.
I think it's one split atom.
It's just one,
It might
huh?
just be one.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what it is, dude, they've built an atom bomb.
Dude, yeah, right.
It's nuts, dude. Compared to, I mean,
Babel?
whatever type of telescope they had back then, whether, they're going like this or, a piece of glass and, well, however they were studying the stars. I mean, look at now. We got the Hubble telescope, and then you got, billions and billions of light years that it can see away.
Dude.
And then there's even this spot called the, what is it? The Hubble Deep Zone, where it's just pitch black and you can't see anything at all.
Right.
It's like that's how far it goes, and now they want to extend from there to another area so they could even see farther.
Yeah, so it's not that he.
We got people in space right now for the first time in 20 years.
Exactly what I was going to make that point, because you go in Babel. It's not that God scattered them because he was afraid they were going to accomplish amazing things. We just shot we shot 2 people into space last week.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Like, come on, dude. Like,
by Tesla, by the way.
Dude, we're cloning animals. We're privately shooting people into to orbit.
Yeah.
We're doing nanobot technology.
Dude.
We have so much stuff going on. If he were upset that Babel built a hill.
A hill, a marsh.
It pales in comparison to what we're doing. We have satellites orbiting the world.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Dude, compared to Babel, that's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, that's kind of crazy. But I guess it was, like the cusp of education back then.
Right.
That's crazy though. That makes me think.
All right, yeah. So think about this. If the goal was then to spread people out, right? Hey, you're staying too long here. You got to spread out, multiply, right? The land didn't break up until Peleg. So you go out, spread out. If the goal is still to spread out, what if God does want us to go to Mars?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he wants us to explore his creation, everything that he created.
Right. Elon Musk wants to go to Mars.
Oh, dude.
I'm going wherever Elon goes.
he has something going on in Mars already.
That dude's not getting in no jalopy spaceship. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting on his spaceship and going where he goes. I have a feeling he's got some.
Yeah.
He's got the good rig.
Oh, dude, I'm sure he has something going on. You know how that one movie, The Martian, was using his own poop to grow potatoes?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm sure he's got people up there just pooping.
Just pooping?
Just pooping.
Just taking dumps.
So they can grow, fresh vegetation.
Getting one of them coffee enemas going, just letting it all loose out on that Martian floor. You know what we're talking. You know what we're talking about. Don't pretend like you haven't done a coffee enema. You know. You can't contain that. That's some Martian dirt. That's blessed Martian dirt right there now.
So, religions, like I said, do you think since these people were not only reaching the heavens, studying the stars, do you think different religions are like we could bring everything back to this point in time? Do we know that it was only it was God in them because people heard God from the sky back then?
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess you could argue that we're already there. If what they were doing in Babel was worshiping themselves and giving themselves too much credit.
That's probably what it was.
Well, we're there now.
Yeah.
Because we're all worshiping ourselves and giving ourselves way too much credit.
Right. Nowadays, it's people's religion is relativity.
It's themselves.
It's themselves. It's my truth is my truth because my truth is mine.
Oh, yeah, that's a favorite statement, right?
Oh, dude.
Hey, speak your truth, bro. Go ahead and speak your truth. Daniel, speak your truth, Daniel. What's your truth?
What's your truth, bro?
God's truth.
Amen to that. But, I mean, just think of it. I mean, just like you said, they were trying to make a name for themselves, so maybe that's exactly what it is. Maybe we just gone backwards and doing what they were doing. Not technologically, but spiritually.
They did. They went technologically as far as their understanding could take them.
Yeah.
Which was building things out of dirt.
Right.
Because they were like, hey, let's burn some bricks. Let's burn some mud
let's
and
make
make them
some
into bricks.
Yeah.
That's what they knew. That was high technology then.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we're going, hey, I got this supercomputer in my hand. I'm just going to go ahead and type in what I want. I got all the knowledge of the universe
what do you
right
want
here.
to know? What do you want to know?
You got it all right there.
Right. It's all right here. And they can hear us, too.
And that beams up.
And they can hear us, too. They're listening to us right now.
Of course they are. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And if you haven't shared us with your friends, I mean, if the government's listening to us, shouldn't all your friends be listening to us?
Yeah, come on. We want you to listen.
We want you to.
Yeah.
Come on, subscribe.
That's
all
subliminal. So what about, just think of it. What about all these cults and underground religions and
Zoroastrianism and
all that weird
Zoroism
stuff.
or whatever.
I mean, think of it. What about all of the mythological gods and all these other things? These things didn't just come from nowhere. Something had to have made it up.
Well, mythology, I think, is at least rooted somewhat in the idea that angels could have sex with women and give birth to demigods.
Yes, we already.
You know where I stand.
We
on that.
had that discussion.
You know where I stand on that.
We had that discussion. It might be a silly idea.
That's episode 4 or 5 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, but I mean, but still, I mean, it still exists.
Right.
People worship these things.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh yeah," I mean, especially what's Thor. You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
Odin and stuff like that.
Odin's
There's an
son.
actual religion on that, right?
Yeah.
People actually worship Odin. So that's what I'm saying. Like, do these things take root because of that time in Babel?
In Babel. Could be. I think they definitely, all religions have at least something in common, where they're worshiping something bigger than themselves, but then something that reminds them of themselves.
Well, that's what the word says, right? You carve things out of wood, the same wood you kindle your fire with.
Right.
You make things with eyes that cannot see, mouth that cannot speak, and ears that cannot hear. I mean, just think of it like that's what people do, whether it's an actual idol, because that's what idol means, right? It's an image. You're making something according to what you want it to look like. And usually you're making it, you're fashioning it. So basically, just because it might not look like you, it's still you, because you're making it according to your own image. So I'm thinking, since they wanted to make a name for themselves, they wanted to make these images of themselves as something to be worshipped.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's definitely the first kind of humanism, kind of right there at the beginning. They wanted to make an image after themselves to worship it. I suppose that's kind of the goals when they say, let's show how great we are.
Yeah.
Which is the failure, because this is post-flood. So now the floods happen. Generations have gone by now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just the next chapter, but generations have gone by.
Yeah. Hundreds of years.
Many.
Yeah. So it's like, so now you have millions of people on the planet again, and they're all just hovering right here. It's like being in L.A. You go to L.A., how many people are in L.A.? 6 million people?
Yeah.
As
Just
far as
about,
the census, maybe it's 10 million people.
Right.
And then you go, okay, so what do you do with 10 million people, especially if they're going to follow this one dude, Nimrod?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like, hey, everybody, let's get together and build a big hill or, obelisk. I mean, it was cool looking. I'm sure it was cool looking.
Dude.
Stairway to heaven.
Yeah, Stairway
Right.
to heaven. Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy to think about, like, that was as far as technology could go, but that was the most advanced time at that age.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like we were talking about, I mean, just thinking now, I mean, look, we're speaking into a metal. We're listening with pieces of metal.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? When people used to use a tin can.
Electrical pulses. Yep.
Now we got radio waves. We got Wi-Fi internet, 5G. I don't even know what the G stands for.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But it's cancer causing. I think they're trying to fix that, but still.
I think you're trying to fix the
Dude,
fact
and
that
people-
5G is going to smoke
People
all of us.
have it in their homes.
Sure.
It's in the air.
Everything's in the air, dude. There's so many radio waves and light waves.
I wonder why people are so paranoid.
We only see, even when you talk about light waves and sound, you're only seeing, out of the
little-
spectrum of light, you're only
Yeah.
seeing this little portion of it. That's
A
why you have
little-
infrared, you have all these different tools that you need to see different spectrums of light. We're only seeing this. That's the visible spectrum of light. And we see millions of colors. And that's a lot to fit into a, something that's as wide, whatever, however
Yeah.
long the light spectrum is.
Mm.
Boom.
Bam.
We get this. I forget what the numbers are, but it's like crazy.
Yeah, it's.
We don't get any of this. They didn't get it in Babel either. Let's make a name for ourselves.
I mean, look at Japan, dude. Japan is 7 years ahead of us? They have stuff that's coming out now that we're not going to see in 10 years.
Oh, really?
You never knew that?
No, I didn't know that. I know the government's got a bunch of stuff that they're hiding from
Dude,
us.
all governments have a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that's hiding. You
Oh,
know what?
sure.
One of my old Bible teachers, he passed away, but he said that he was not involved, but he knew a lot of people in the Hebrew, the Jerusalem, and the Israelites' government.
Mm-hmm.
He knew a lot of people. He said, dude, they have weapons that don't even exist. I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Weapons that we don't know exist?
Oh, for sure.
And I'm like, maybe that ray gun I made a long time
Oh,
ago
yeah,
wasn't
dude.
just, something I made up.
Dude, Cuba has a frequency that they use from time to time. They deny having it,
Iron drones.
but it'll make you vomit.
Those iron drones.
So if you want,
If someone's shooting a bomb at you, these things go.
oh yeah, that's perfect, man.
Dude, it's insane.
It's a beautiful time to be alive. But I'm praying,
Yeah,
God,
with
if you were upset,
nuclear bombs. I mean,
if you're,
if he's not upset at a nuclear bomb,
dude, I'm just saying, if you were upset at the Tower of Babel, maybe he wasn't upset as much as he was like, "Hey, you can't stop here. We
Yeah.
got to keep going.
you need to be fruitful. You need to multiply.
You need to multiply."
Now I'm gonna have to make you not understand each other, and you're gonna have to scatter throughout the
Yeah, right.
world.
So I guess context. It's there's the context for it, I guess.
The craziest thing about that passage to me is, and let me ask this first: what do you think's more formidable force, today's technology, or the people of Nimrod's time before the scattering at Babel?
Oh, our technology. I would put our
Yeah.
technology against those fools any day, dude. You can get a bunch.
Yeah, they had sticks and stones.
Do you think that there is anything that is impossible for us at this point?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
light speed travel.
that's the only thing, but
And here's
I guess AI is starting to do stuff that we humans cannot do.
I mean, not yet.
That's what I'm saying. They're
But it's
going to
coming.
grow.
Yeah.
They're going to grow. They're going to get more knowledgeable, and that's like what we talked about. Maybe it's AI that's the beast, or
Sure.
not the beast, but I mean, I'm sure a demon can still inhabit a machine.
Yeah, possibly.
In my mind, I believe that they still can. And if it's AI, that's going to be the image. Just imagine if something just possesses that thing, dude.
Well, for sure. I mean, I
Remember
think
Ghost in a Machine?
I think you're. I think that's absolutely true because I see in my own self that while I want to do good, evil's close at hand.
Mm-hmm. He's
And
crouching at the door.
It's this internal battle where there's something in my flesh that lusts for everything that's wrong,
Yeah.
and it's battling against the spirit of my mind. And so to have a virus or a ghost in the machine technologically makes complete sense to me because I have that same ghost in my machine
Yeah.
waging war against my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there.
Yeah, I would put our technological things against. I'll definitely against the time of Nimrod. And then what was that second question again?
That was pretty much.
What were you going to say in regards to that?
Yeah,
because the thing that blows my mind is in that scripture passage, the scattering of the languages at Babel. God's statement was, "These people are one people.
Right.
There is nothing impossible for them."
Right.
At
I
this
just
point.
read that right now. Yeah.
Which kind of hits me as there's more intelligence and power in numbers and unity than there is in the sophistication of our own individual minds.
That is an absolute fact.
Yeah, dude.
That is an absolute fact.
That's crazy.
I think about, so when you think about
You know what?
God,
Let's.
that's
You get
Right
a
there.
gong for that one, dude.
yeah,
You gotta gong it, dude. Gong.
gong it, boom. That was wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, because you think of if God is a being so great that none greater can even be conceived, right? As Anselm said, and then we were made in His image and in His likeness. But you can't possess all the greatness of God, right? So He gives talents and gifts, and you shine God in a different way than I do. You have different talents and gifts. People come together in that unity you're talking about, and my gifts complement your gifts, complements His gifts, and we all nourish each other in that community.
Yeah.
And through that, we can accomplish anything.
Absolutely.
But it's a community that's focused on the Spirit of God and focused on giving Him the credit and going, look, Lord, we're going to go to Mars,
Yeah.
right? By your
By
your
grace,
will,
by your
your
will.
grace and your will, we're
Yeah.
going to go to Mars and we're going to populate it. We're going to continue this expansion that you gave us to do. And the power that comes from that community of minds. It's not one person. It's not just Elon Musk.
No, absolutely not.
It's although he's a different animal,
Dude. that
right?
guy's-
I mean, how much of a chimp do you feel hanging, talking?
Just looking at him.
Just looking at him?
Dude, but the funniest thing was when he said that new truck that was indestructible and he threw a rock at it and it just like shattered
yeah.
the...
Oh, yeah.
That was the funniest thing ever.
Well, you know what happened?
Dude.
You know what he said happened, though? Is that they did one demonstration where they hit the door with something,
Yeah.
and that jarred something loose, which caused the glass to break when he hit it. So it was just like
It's still not
yeah,
indestructible.
It's not indestructible.
Yeah.
It was
If they hit it with a bat on the door
yeah.
it's... Yeah.
It's a nice truck though.
I don't know. I don't like that. It looks to me like you can actually build a time machine with that.
As
thing.
soon as you see Jay-Z driving around in one of those trucks, you're gonna be like, okay, that truck it's growing on me. It's growing on me. You get Chris Pratt driving around in one of them Tesla trucks. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, dude, I need a Tesla
with
truck."
a Raptor in his
Mm-hmm.
in the back.
With a Raptor.
With
Yeah,
the
he's gonna
Raptor
have a
in the
little
back.
coming out the back window.
With his tongue hanging out.
Yeah, dude.
Big old train horn.
Yeah.
What do you think that must be? What do you think would happen if you were, one day you're hanging out, all of your English speaking people having a good time, and then all of a sudden you couldn't understand any of them?
Like if we're talking right now, and then all of a sudden I just hear blah 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 blah.
Daniel
blah,
starts
blah, blah,
speaking
blah.
like some gibberish, and you're like, "Oh crap, what's going on? He's having a stroke." But then some other guy comes in, he starts talking gibberish, and then his eyes light up like, "You can understand me?" Right?
The gift of tongues.
Or
man.
some chick. Are you married?
different tongues.
Divorce.
unfortunately.
So some chick comes in speaking the same gibberish. They have kids who
Like-
speak that same gibberish. We don't even understand anything
Yeah.
they're talking
I'm just
about.
like, I'm gonna leave.
We're like, look, bro, you got to go hang out over
Yeah.
there. We don't understand anything you're saying. And that's how Babel was.
That'd be crazy.
That must have
Yeah.
been a shocker, right?
Right. I mean, and it interests me that when the Spirit fell upon the apostles, that they started speaking in different languages,
Yeah.
in different tongues, for people who were outside of where they were can understand what they're saying.
Yeah, interesting bookends.
Yeah.
Because you have Babel where the languages were scattered. Then you have Pentecost where it seemed all languages came back to a point where people understood. Everybody from different tongues and languages understood what they were talking about.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That was I mean, do you think that was still I mean, obviously when God scattered them, it was a work of the Holy Spirit.
Sure.
To give them those different tongues so they can go around, and then one day they would just come back and then understand. That's crazy.
Like thousands of years later.
Yeah, dude. Thousands of years later, come back and then understand what the apostles were saying.
If they understood it like that.
Right. Yeah, that's just me thinking right now.
But that's a perfect example of what's happening, in human experience when we're, through the years descending further into darkness away from God, and we're doing according to all that we want to do, like in Babel. And then when Christ washes you clean and forgives you of all that, that's that journey back to light.
Yeah.
Where you're being sanctified. So everything that goes out comes back in God.
It's crazy because the first religion, I guess, basically Babylon,
Sure.
It's coming back in the end. How much of a
Revelation.
How much of a counterfeit that is. How that religion could just come back and start deceiving people once again.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be a religion of humanism.
Definitely humanism.
Me.
Right. I'm going to make myself known.
I'm going to make myself known.
Like in my what is it called? My world.
Yeah, your simulation.
My simulation, yeah.
Yeah, which you don't want to be a part of, by the way, Daniel.
You don't want to be a part of my simulation, unless you really want to just,
No, you want to peek inside that dude's head.
Yeah.
Be part of his simulation.
You got to listen to that one.
That dude's got you sweeping streets.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Doing all kinds of nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't no...
It's for the glory of God. It wasn't.
It was a BC kind of.
Oh no, it's a BC vision, man.
Yeah.
You got to listen to that episode because this dude ain't right in the head when he's talking about creating a world for himself.
And then this guy goes off like if he's God and creating humans and perfect habitat.
Of course.
And yeah,
I got nothing but a weird sense of
You do have a weird sense.
Yeah, it's a weird sense. Well, and that's what makes us so different. Like when you think, oh, what would your habitat be? Or how would you... There's plenty of people that when you talk about what would your simulation be, or if you were Nimrod, how would you build Babylon? If millions of people were following you and going, Daniel, tell us what to do, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you tell them and however you construct that society is an indication of where your heart is.
Yeah.
Build that out of gold and put my name on it. You're like, okay.
Build a big statue of me.
Right.
Out of gold and worship me 3 times a day.
3 times a day. Right.
Right. Man.
Yeah. And there's that, there's where that perversion comes in. And then God's looking at it going, dang it.
You missed the mark.
You missed. I created you to handle and manage this habitat, not to worship yourselves, to worship me.
Yeah.
It's like, and that just goes to show that when you build out your habitat and you're managing it, and it takes on your image, if you can step back from it far enough and look through a window unobserved and see the perversity that's happening, you go, oh yeah, I'm not God.
Yeah.
God's got it better. There's no one more infinitely wise and knowledgeable to build something like that than God, without any ulterior motives. That's why he says jealousy, envy, lust, dissensions, all these things are a work of the flesh. You start operating from that viewpoint, you're going to build a society that's focused on the flesh. Yeah. And there's nothing good that can come from that.
Nothing.
Absolutely not.
Nothing good.
I'm going to be jealous of you. I'm going to be envious of what you have. I'm going to start coveting what you have, and then I'm going to start. The jealousy leads to anger, leads to outbursts of anger,
wrath.
leads to leads to murder.
Murder.
I hate you now.
I hate you.
You know, you ever hear chicks say that? They see some chick that's finer than them, or they think that she's finer than them. Better body. Oh, I hate her. You're like, oh, see, that's envy.
Yeah, envy.
You nurture that little envious seed long enough. And
You water that thing?
You water that thing, feed it.
Oh,
yeah, and then finally just let it. It's like that 60-year-old man that goes on Facebook going, "Hey, Donald Trump's a jerk. The world is all." He's just angry all the time. You're like,
bitterness, dude. Bitterness.
Bitterness.
A root
man.
of bitterness that grows into your heart, which leaves no room for repentance.
He watered that sucker, dude, for years. See, everybody hates me, and everybody doesn't do good, and everybody blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you're a miserable old man with no friends, sitting on Facebook. Just nobody even likes your stuff anymore because they're like, oh, there he goes
because
again.
He's babbling.
Because he's babbling. Yep. There he goes
babbling.
again.
There he goes again.
Yep.
It's all that babble.
Ah, there it is, man. There's Jake again, babbling his nonsensical political anger. You're like, forget it. Who's got time for that? That's Babylon right there.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
yeah, we could. I'm just looking at that. I thought there was only 3 connections. There's 4, so we could actually, if we have a caller. If you ever want to call.
You want to call in.
If you ever want to call in, we have that technology to do. That we can have your voice on our podcast. I still need to figure out this part, though.
Oh, as a matter of fact, look, we have a caller. Hey, we got Bill on line 1. Go ahead, Bill. What you got going on? You guys suck. I don't know why anyone would listen to you. I've been listening to political talk for 45 years, and I hate the world.
Who's commented? Do we have any comments yet?
No comments. What are they going to comment? Hey, how come Jake's sitting so erectly? Well, if you must know, thank you for asking, is because I hurt my back this morning and I can't sit back. If I sit back, I will be spending the night here.
C-Ram. Hector C-Ram. Okay.
Cram? That's like C-Rap.
I'm going to have to...
Christian rap. You ever see Christian
rap? Ask him about that. I think he's telling us what we can use to plug in.
Oh, C-Ram, yeah. Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
We need C-Ram. Now, like the abbreviation for Christian rap, which spells crap. It's not...
I don't even think of it as Christian rap. I think of it like us. You know, we're Christians that have a podcast.
Yeah.
They're rappers that are Christian.
Yeah, that's how they should be.
And that's how, yeah.
Like, hey, shout out to Jeff Ballou. If you're watching this, we've had the same conversation because he's in a metal band in the 90s. Put out a new album just a few years ago. Thank you for that, by the way. It's freaking awesome. He was in a band called Stavesaker and then The Justified, which is a punk band. And we had conversations before. It was just like the biggest mistake you could do is go into your career as a Christian metal band. I'm like, why?
Right.
You guys didn't even, the principles were Christian, but it's not like they sang about Jesus and
now
and
you're
sacraments or anything.
You're not going to have a wider audience, so you can share the glory of God. You're only you're putting yourself out there like that, you're only putting yourself into a box.
Which they meant well. I mean, it's not to crap on you guys. I love your music. So
it's all meant well. It's not like a newscaster. You know, I'm a Christian newscaster.
But that was kind of I guess now I'm backpedaling, right? Because I don't want to offend my buddy. But it's like you back because in the 90s, that's what we did. We created these weird little microcosms of like these little subculture. We're a Christian subculture, so we have our own publishing groups, and we have our own bands, and we have our own this, and we have our own TV, and we have our own everything.
Coffee shops,
coffee shops. Stores. We've essentially sealed ourselves off from anything in the world, and then it comes back.
And then we wonder why. And then nobody wants to listen to us.
Right. Right. You're like, why can't you just go have coffee at a regular coffee spot and be a Christian?
Like Barstucks?
What?
Barstucks?
Barstucks?
Yeah. Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
See how easily I can get them?
I know. It's easy.
Man. Especially this late. I mean,
talk backwards.
We've talked a lot about doing this pretty late because sometimes we can just go off into some weird shenanigans.
Oh, yeah. Well, you get me here too late, man. Things go off the rails pretty deep.
Especially and without coffee, without the whoop chicken. Oh, you got your whoop whoop.
Dude, I'm off Rockstars now 2 months.
That's right.
2.5
That's
months.
right.
Dude.
Yeah, you told me
I
about
love
that.
life,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
I stopped drinking coffee again. I keep doing that. I'm on a binge with coffee, and then all of a sudden I just stopped drinking coffee.
Oh, really?
I don't even remember when I stopped. I just
Why, though?
stopped.
Just because?
I don't even know. Sometimes because I don't like the headache if I forget one day, and then you just get that massive headache of just like I want to chop my own head off, and
Oh, yeah. Well, I did
don't want
the
to have to deal with that.
Rockstars, man. It dawned on me one day that my brain was just freaking all over the place. And it had been all over the place every single day for the last dozen years or so. I'm like, oh, okay, I got ADD or something. Okay, maybe I got ADD. I'm, late onset adult attention deficit disorder. And then I was like, and part of the reason I kept drinking it was because everybody said you shouldn't drink those, and so that was kind of my rebellious way of going, right?
That's his flesh. That's what he's feeding his flesh.
I'm gonna go 7-Eleven. I'm getting another Rockstar. I'm gonna show it to the camera and go, look, all you haters, I'm drinking another one, right?
You did do that.
I'm bad. I do what I want.
Yeah, I do what I want.
I know what I want.
And you do it from time to time. Then you're like, okay, humility, is it good for me? I don't know. So let me just
it is good for you.
Let me not drink it for a while, and let's see what happens. No, actually, my mind is clearer now than it's been
good.
in a long time.
Yeah.
So I think it's just some of the
you're probably
things,
getting sleep.
Some of the things in it are just it's the. I was getting sleep on it.
That's bad.
I could power through a Rockstar, dude.
Yeah.
I could shotgun a Rockstar and
Yeah.
take a nap.
I know.
Doesn't affect me at
and
all.
then wake up
Yeah, wake up
on a good one.
Yeah, so it's like, why'd you sniff after that? He said, wake up on a good one. Like, hey, I know what that means.
Allergies, bro. It means
Okay,
allergies.
okay.
Yeah, it means allergies.
Sure.
So,
Doing that Christian blow.
the Christian crack coffee.
That's what
Dude, in jail, people were sniffing
Lord.
coffee,
Of
bro.
course. Oh, the dehydrated
ground-
coffee?
yes.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? Because that's better than putting it in your lip straight.
Oh, dude, I'd rather put it in my lips straight.
No, it
Yeah.
cruds up your teeth. It's
Or
not good.
just use a little bit of water and then put a bunch of that stuff in there.
Oh, that little Vietnamese coffee.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
Well,
Oh,
Nimrod,
Nimrod, stud. We've established he's a stud.
you've established that.
I mean, you can't.
I think he's a.
How do you contradict that? The guy built
a civilization?
a civilization,
Right. I mean,
a legit civilization. Now their religious views were off,
right?
but he was the first.
and it's coming back.
yeah.
Babel is coming back.
Yeah, but then Jesus will smoke them again. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah,
Throw him into the abuso.
yeah. I mean, look, they're a symbol of what's
So
on now.
I guess that's another topic of another day. What is Babylon in the future?
I think it's just a symbol of what
Ooh.
Babylon was in the past.
A lot of people have different views on that. You know that.
We can go deep on that whole.
We can go very deep on that.
Dude, aliens were at Babel.
Babel.
Just kidding.
Dude, have you watched?
See? Buttons, see? I know his buttons too. What's your
Just know my buttons, dude. Button C. I guess it's button C.
button? It's
You
A.
said button
no, it's
C.
A. It's button alien. I just pushed the alien button.
He knows where to get me, dude. He knows exactly where to get me. And I can go off, but I don't know. How much time do we have?
You got 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
So have you seen?
Have a party.
Have you seen what I told you to watch that my friend produced? The Coming Global Transformation?
No. It was
Dude.
on. I started watching something on Amazon. Something about
No,
the
it's
end
not
times.
Amazon.
It's not that.
No. It's about
You gotta send me the link again.
basically
I'll watch it this week.
what my friend, and I love this guy. He's really he's one of those guys that will not waver from what he believes. Is it a salvation issue? No.
Right.
But it's his view of what the rapture, what it's going to be. Like, his view of the rapture is still pre-tribulation. He believes what we believe. But what he thinks is that when it happens and people are like, what happened? That the aliens are going to come
All right.
and say, we're the ones who took all the people.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's...
Real aliens are staged.
Obviously, demons disguised in alien form.
Well, it could be the...
But, I mean, it could just be a demon. It could just, I mean,
why is it
think of it.
Why does it got to be demons?
Why? Why not?
Why not the angels? Where in
Well,
Revelation
okay.
it says that he's going to reap.
Angels.
There's
Okay.
2 reapings, right? One reaping of the earth
Yeah.
where they're crushed.
So whether it could be angels, I mean, demons are angels anyways.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's true.
So, but
They're splitting hairs, I guess, on the angel demon
right,
thing. So
when you really think about it, when you read Ezekiel and you read about the angel that Ezekiel is talking about, I asked my kids, and they're like, "It's a monster," because you got 4 faces, you got wheels, and the life is in the wheels, and it moves. It doesn't turn. It just goes forward, backward, right, left, diagonal, and all these other things, and the life is in the wheel. It's like, what do you think that is, Josh? He goes, a monster. And I'm like, that's an angel.
Sounds like a monster.
Now think of it. I've never seen an angel. I've seen other things, but I've never seen an angel.
Right.
I've seen, whether it was a demon disguised as something, even portrays like some sort of monster, but I've never seen an actual angel in its purest form. So let's just say, whether it's an angel or a demon, whatever it may be, they're going to come in its natural form, and they're going to think they're aliens. Because they are basically aliens.
Oh, yeah, there ain't nothing indigenous about
they're
those.
Extraterrestrial.
For sure. Yes. Yeah, right.
The epitome of.
Right. And so it's like, why would they have to look like a little green man or, the big head with the big eyes? They don't have to look like that. They could just come in its natural form.
Yeah, well, that was Chuck Missler's view on aliens, was that they're demons.
Right.
Because they change colors and change shapes. I don't know. I don't necessarily hold to that, but still makes sense. But, yeah, maybe, dude. Maybe angels, demons coming.
Whatever. I mean, but
don't
that's his view. You guys need to hear it. It's like it's cool.
I'll listen to it this week.
Yeah. The coming global transformation.
The coming global transformation.
I think I might have it in here. I think I brought it in here.
You can get it online, though, right?
You can listen to it for free on YouTube.
Okay. Send me the link, and I'll watch it this week.
Yeah.
For sure. Because
it's not a video. It's just more audio.
Okay, I'll listen to it while I'm driving to work, though. So
dude.
That's good for me, because that's like...
I
like stuff like that.
This guy put 50,000 G's into producing this thing, dude.
Oh, okay, well, look, if you want to give me any material... If you want me to make fun of you for any reason at all... Spend $50,000 on a documentary talking about aliens being demons.
But that's not.
I will. I know. No, I know the guy's legit, and he's your friend, and you love him. I know, and I'll probably love him too because I like stuff like that.
No, honestly, I don't believe in that view.
No, I don't. I don't know that I do either, but I do believe in a view where you spend $50,000 on a pet project.
Right. Yeah, he put a lot of money into that.
Hey,
well, it wasn't his own money. It was like people who came together and.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, in all seriousness, if anybody in that group of people that donated to that cause,
we're looking
GOAD Media could use some expansion dollars.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead and throw some.
We need to update the dungeon
while you're in the mood of throwing away money. Go ahead and throw it on over here. No offense, bro. I'm sure it's a good document. I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I know I'm going to.
Yeah, it is enjoyable. I listened to it with the name
for sure. I believe that it's enjoyable. It's
it's just interesting. But but that's his complete view. And
it's a good view.
In this the coming global transformation, it talks about different views. It talks about the Catholic. It talks about the Protestant. It talks about the Muslim. It talks about the Catholic, the rabbis. Mm-hmm. Like it has all kinds of different views.
Oh, that's good, right? Gets it deep.
It gets really deep, and then suddenly, people get snatched up, and people. The one guy that was like the Joel Osteen character, he goes, "I was wrong this whole time. I've led my people astray." But some of them went I guess they believed in the true God. Like,
Oh, they believed in spite of you? No
Right.
way.
yeah, dude.
Duh.
It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like
That's-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to listen to. Look, I like stuff like that. You know
So-
me. I could be a conspiracy guy like next week, dude. I could go down the rabbit trail of,
This guy
I
will be
dabble
all
a little bit
conspiracy with you. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I could go down those rabbit trails. I don't know where, So I enjoy. Look, I like stuff like that. But
Should we do conspiracies next week?
we can do. We can.
We can. I'm down.
We could.
The
We've
biggest
talked-
conspiracies.
Which one though?
Let's pick 3 of the biggest ones.
All right. Well, let's discuss that after this episode. We can figure it out.
Are we done?
We are done.
You done? Okay. Final view.
Final view, Daniel, because you've done so much talking today.
Yeah, right. Final view is, I don't know. People, the one time we're recorded as being a one people, able to accomplish anything, nothing being impossible for us. God scatters us.
Yeah.
Because as one people, the greatest thing that we could think to do was build something to make a name for ourselves.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yep,
The condition of the flesh.
it is.
Me? All right.
Final?
And I've said it, throughout this. I think that's where all religions have their root in.
That's a good point. And I will simply say that, look, separated, divided, divisiveness as a people will destroy the world. But together we can do amazing things. So
Yes.
Amen.
All right.
togetherness. GOAD Podcast, we're out.
GOAD Podcast. Peace.